And so as you approach, if I step aside, you'll find that under the pole, there is a sign that reads clearly, danger, death. This means if you're unauthorized or you have no knowledge about how ECG operates, you may likely get electrocuted. Interesting how these thieves manage to get these transformers off the poles, either vandalize them and run away, or take them away and sell them off as scrap metals. They operate using a certain operating rod. ECG has the purpose-built one for that operation. But the thieves have found a very interesting common way of going about it. They use a PVC pipe, a wooden plank at the tip of it, and a steel rod coiled so that is used to disable the fuse on the transformer, and then power gets cut off to the entire community. And so if you don't know what's going on, you might think, well, ECG at it again, lights out. But these will be the operations of these getting your transformer away. And once that is done, they disable power to the transformer, push it off the top, and then they carry it away. The cost of that is not only up to ECG, or doesn't only affect ECG. It inconveniences businesses as well as residents who live around or who get their service from that transformer. This transformer, you can see, is built to serve a whole plant, a manufacturing plant. The transformer is gone, so you can see the effect of that on the business as it is. Business can't afford to bring the transformer in, and the cost of ECG would have to be recouped from somewhere. And so then for as long as it takes to replace that transformer, ECG and the business will have to be at a loss. Not just the business, but also communities who feed off that transformer will have to be at the mercy of it. When we were driving earlier on through Prampram, let me say we're not in the Prampram township, but this falls within the Prampram region or the Tema region. And so we are on the main Accra Aflao highway. We had to come all the way here because this has been the most recent theft that's occurred. And in order to tell the story from what we had yesterday, this is it. This place is supposed to be fenced, but thieves have managed to break down the fence. And so what you have currently in your shot is the broken fence into which they went and bulldozed off the transformer. Indeed, this has a very devastating effect on the operations of ECG, in that it cost them in excess of millions of cedis in order to replace these. And nobody knows. I asked the PR person whom I spoke to earlier, as well as the contact who brought us to this location to show us what we're seeing currently on our screens. And I asked one simple question. Have you made any arrest in the past? And he said no. In fact, the entire region's police is aware of these operations, but the patrol team have been so unfortunate they've not been able to effect any arrests. If you look at the operation rod, it gives you a sense of an insider or someone who has a good understanding of the way ECG operates, and with that makeshift operations rod, they are able to disable the transformer, cut out power to it, and tow away the transformer. One other thing I worry about is where this transformer ends up. If it ends up in a scrapyard, then it is sold off as scrap. But if it ends up to be resold, then I ask whoever is reselling, do you not realize that this must have been a transformer in operation, disabled and being resold? That is where questions that needs answering come in. Obviously, CAF, we may have hundreds of questions, even 1,000 questions, but answers are the ones that eludes us. And these thieves get ever so clever by the day, such that getting to them in order to effect an arrest has now become a game of chess with the police, ECG, and the community. The operations rod our cameras caught earlier was at a point when the guys came in. Somebody in the community observed and realized these may be thieves. They are not true ECG staff, and so raised the alarm. When they ran away, the operation rod, the makeshift one, was what they left. And so all ECG currently have, as far as their operation is concerned, is that operation rod to tell ECG this is how they come in and operate. In fact, it is devastating to communities and businesses when such thefts happen. But whether or not we are at a point where we can affect arrest, anytime soon, that is out there for us to find out. Really and truly, these people lives in our communities with us, and we may have an idea who they are. And so if you're watching this report this morning, our plea to you is that it doesn't only affect ECG, it affects the taxpayer as well. Myself, yourself, who pay our taxes or who are inconvenienced, like this business behind me, get to suffer. And so if you know anyone who is a transformer vandalizer or a thief, please be a good citizen. Don't be a spectator. Report them. You are not doing anything wrong. You are doing the Lord's job. As always, Kaf, to hand over to you in the studio, my name is Darrell Alantego, your chief laborer. Thank you very much for coming.